Hi, this is Zak Mir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here on Share Talk for Monday, the 19th of November. Starting off with active energy, where it looks as though we've got a gap to the upside through the 50-day moving average and within this falling wedge formation. As we'll see later with other stocks, a gap within the wedge is normally an early bird sign that the stock has turned around. You don't have to wait for the break of the top of the wedge, but we'll see how that goes on this occasion. At the moment, the bottom of the gap is at 1.95, and while we're above that, looking for at least a test of this 2.3 pence resistance line. Overall, looking for somewhere between 2.5 and 2.75 as the target while we hold above that gap floor. Next up, Haydale, which I think I've looked at recently. Shares gave us another leg down, I think, after this attempt here, but gap down last week and a gap higher this week within the wedge, so that is possibly an early bird sign that the shares are going to break through 20 pence and hit the 50-day moving average at 30 pence over the next couple of weeks. Nice bullish divergence there as well, with a lower low there on the price, but higher low in the RSI window, so that is encouraging. We'll see what happens there. Obviously, the stop loss back below that line there, heading towards 13 pence. Next up, Greatland Gold, which has had some good news today, apparently. Let's see how the share price has done. Basically, following on from this falling wedge break that we had in the middle of October, that sideways shuffle along the 50-day moving average and the gap higher. Again, a nice touch there in terms of the technicals while we're above the 50-day line, looking for a move towards that early July resistance at 1.6 pence. Next up, Infrastrata, which give periodic coverage of. Here we've got the break of that initial November resistance at 0.65, while we're above that, looking for a target towards a penny. So a nice little setup there. Rising 50-day and 200-day moving averages as well, helping drive momentum. Emu Pharma is next. Sorry, I can't speak today. Situation here is that I interviewed the company a while back and have been following the shares ever since. Looked as though the shares would bottom out at 10 pence. In fact, in the end, it was just that final dip towards 9 pence bear trap and then back up again. Gap within the wedge there was a leading indicator on the shares breaking higher, and obviously what a move we've had. Shares effectively doubling from the lows in a very short order. Current situation, looking for a break of that 22.9 pence peak. Any dips towards this initial November peak at 15 pence, currently regarded as a buying opportunity, then you'd have your stop loss back below the 50-day moving average and the top of the broken wedge as well. Thought I'd look at Oilex today. Obviously, it's been slightly painful, all the way up and now all the way down, sort of grand old Duke of York type situation. Looked as though previously we'd find support at 0.35. In fact, the low today so far 0.32. Looks as though basically the share's finding new support at old resistance, that October resistance there, 31.31. So something like that. And really the bottom line is we've got to stay above the 50-day moving average at 0.25 in order to keep the bull argument going and not conclude that the whole move of November to date was just a horrible bull trap. On to Rockfire, which is the final stock of the day. Here we had one attempt at breaking higher, which was the falling wedge break in October. Then made a new low, a bit like the Emu Pharma situation. That final flush out of the week of bulls there, just below 1 pence, and then back up again. Probably what you want to see now is support coming in towards the 50-day moving average at 1.23 pence, while we're above that 50-day line in the bottom of the gap. Hopefully the shares can head back towards the best levels of the year to date at 2.4 pence, but obviously this looks like a rocky ride. Shares living up to their name. That's it from me. More updates tomorrow.